Hello, everyone. Welcome to the U.S. Immigration Updates. This month, a quiet policy update from USCIS has erupted into one of the biggest shocks for immigrant families in years. Thousands of couples are waking up to a reality they didn't expect. A new policy shift from USCIS has completely changed the process. These aren't just small updates to forms or minor clarifications. These are sweeping changes applied retroactively, and they could delay, derail, or even push genuine couples into deportation proceedings. In this video, we're going to break down what exactly has changed with marriage-based green card applications, why these changes are happening now, how they could affect couples already in the process, and what steps you can take to protect your case before it's too late. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now let's get into the video. For years, the marriage-based green card has been the symbol of family unity in the U.S. immigration system. If you married a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident, the pathway to a green card was clear. Yes, it could take months, sometimes even years, but if your marriage was genuine, you had reason to believe the process would eventually succeed. But as of August 2nd, 2025, that assumption is no longer safe. USCIS quietly updated its internal policy manual, but the effects are anything but quiet. Officers across the country were immediately instructed to treat every marriage-based green card case with heightened suspicion. That means tougher vetting, mandatory interviews, more fraud detection tools, and a new starting point. Assume nothing. Every couple now has to prove their relationship step by step, detail by detail, in ways far stricter than before. And here's the part that has couples most shaken. These new rules are retroactive. If you filed your case in April, May, or June, your application could now be reopened or reviewed under these tougher standards. This isn't a soft rollout, it's live right now. And couples who thought they were waiting in line for approvals are suddenly facing surprise delays, new interview requests, or even home visits. Why is this happening? On paper, USCIS says the changes are about efficiency and integrity. The marriage-based green card process has long been criticized for fraud loopholes, and with more than 11 million cases clogging the agency's backlog, leadership is under pressure to both clear genuine cases and root out sham marriages. But in practice, the new approach prioritizes thoroughness over speed. That means more delays for everyone, including real couples. Before this change, if you missed a document or submitted something incomplete, you often got a second chance. Officers would send a request for evidence, an RFE, and you could fix the mistake. Now those mistakes aren't treated as minor. An incomplete or disorganized file can lead directly to denial. And even worse, a denial under these rules can sometimes trigger a notice to appear in immigration court. That's not just a rejection, that's the start of removal proceedings. Think about the human impact of that. A genuine couple, maybe newly married, maybe raising children who simply failed to attach the right tax document or forgot to organize their evidence neatly, could suddenly find themselves facing deportation hearings. The margin for error has shrunk dramatically. The new policy also lays out a long list of red flags, factors that don't automatically prove fraud, but that raise suspicion and trigger deeper investigations. These include large age gaps between spouses with little shared history, marriages that happen shortly after entering on a tourist visa, short dating periods before marriage, a lack of joint finances or leases, photos that look staged or repetitive, and limited interaction with each other's families. If your only photos together are from one wedding day in the same outfits, that's not enough anymore. Officers are now trained to look for variety, different seasons, locations, events, and settings that show your relationship developing over time. Perhaps the most visible change for applicants is that interviews are now virtually guaranteed. In the past, strong cases could sometimes skip interviews, especially if couples had children or extensive evidence of a life together. That's rare now. And for cases that are flagged, the interviews themselves are tougher. Officers can separate spouses and question them individually, comparing answers on even the smallest details. What color is the living room couch? Who cooks dinner? What's the name of your landlord? Even small inconsistencies can trigger more investigation. And then there are home visits. Officers can now show up unannounced to check if you're truly living together. They may open closets to check how clothes are stored, look for mail or bills with both names, or ask casual questions about daily routines. It's invasive, and for many couples, stressful. But it's happening, and it's already catching people off guard. To understand just how serious this is, imagine a real-world case under the new rules. A tourist enters the U.S., marries a citizen within 2 weeks, and files for a green card. Before August 2025, this case might raise questions, but it would usually move forward. Now, that case is automatically flagged. A home visit is scheduled before the interview even happens. The file is placed under active fraud review. Even if the marriage is real, the short timeline and lack of long-term evidence can lead to months of investigations and uncertainty. So, what can couples do under this new reality? The most important step is to prepare your case like it's your one and only chance. Start by building a strong record before you file. 3 to 4 months of joint financial documents, bank accounts, leases, utility bills, insurance, and tax records should be gathered up front. Don't just send in photos from your wedding. Collect pictures from vacations, birthdays, family gatherings, and casual outings over different seasons and years. Get affidavits from friends and family, but make them detailed. A vague statement like, "I know they love each other," won't cut it. Officers want specific stories, dates, and details. Organize your evidence in a clear, labeled format. Officers under pressure to review hundreds of cases will appreciate a file that is easy to navigate. And disorganized files are at higher risk for denial. Most importantly, be truthful and consistent. If you and your spouse contradict each other, even on small details, that can damage credibility. And remember, USCIS is now treating every marriage-based green card like a potential fraud case. The burden of proof is on you. This isn't just about paperwork. This is about a cultural shift inside USCIS. Fraud detection is no longer the backup plan. It's the starting point. Genuine couples now face the same scrutiny that used to be reserved for suspected fraud cases. And that means you need to treat your application like a legal trial. Your marriage is the case. Your documents are the evidence. And the officer is the judge. The couples who succeed under these rules will be those who take the process seriously from the start, who prepare, who anticipate questions, and who build a complete picture of their lives together. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the U.S. Immigration Updates channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.